Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. So today is tremendous. Today is just regal. You know what I'm saying? Let me introduce this whole thing first off. Let me get this popping. Let me do this. Let's get this thing started. Shit, I'm not even sure how to do this, but I'm in fresh linens. I just got this shirt. This joint looks awesome. You know what I'm saying? It looked like something that my man's Tyler the Creator would wear. And the reason that I had to get this shirt because I went and got the new Scumfluck. I said Scumfluck. See, I'm already fucking. This is how excited I am. I'm just fucking all up. Scum Fuck Flower Boy, okay? All right. The new Tyler Creator album. I'm completely excited for it. For real, it's been the first thing that's been released in a little while that I've been excited for. Now, let me do a little something. Let me do a little preparation that I should have did beforehand. But let me do a little something, so I can be all good and do this thing for y'all and lay this whole thing out because, oh my goodness, I just listened to the album one time. But look here, I've been a long time Odd Future fan. Shout out to my boy Justin who put me on quite some time ago. I've been listening to Odd Future now since pretty much about 2009, 2010 time frame, right? So I'm pretty deep embedded in the circle, in the donuts and whatnot, man. I know what's going on. I know what's happening. I kind of understand what's happening with certain codes. I understand Tyler's lingo and certain things and what's happening with certain stuff. I've been listening long enough. I can hear messages and certain things, right? So I know what he's doing with certain shit, right? So immediately, first off, you cannot just download Tyler the Creator albums. You have to get physical copies, okay? The reason because even with this album, he did it on purpose. He's a nostalgic like person when it comes to music. He appreciates the fact of gaining and getting something physical and looking at the artwork and dealing and delving into what is the mindset of the artist more so than just the music. There's more to it. He believes in the full package, correct? So when you listen to his music, you can't just download his music and listen to it. You literally have to have the album and look at the art and look at the album and flick through and listen and read the lyrics at the same time as you're doing it because the way that he sets everything up for his display of audio, it is also visual. If you get what I mean, he's doing what's that? There's a disorder called like synapses or synesthesia, where you cross your senses and stuff. That's basically what he's doing with music, right? So he crosses music with colors and then colors with the visuals and things like that. So first off, right? All right, first hidden message that I already came across. All right, the name of the album, okay, Scumfuck Flower Boy. Now, if you take the first goddamn, I'm so excited, I can't say it. All right, the first four letters of flower backwards is wolf, okay? That's Tyler's alias already, right there. So you get that. So, okay, now. I'm telling you, I've only listened to it once and I just ran through everything, but I get it, all right? So now you got that, right? So you already got wolf technically in the title. So you got to already figure out, okay, maybe in some weird way, maybe some of this might be either tied to the Wolf album or just tied to the whole alias as far as him being Wolf and Wolf Haley and things like that. Second off, okay, now the Bumblebee. The image of the bumblebee ties in from a few different things. It deals something with the artist that he spoke with as far as dealing with what he wanted as far as the album cover. If you look very closely, I watched a few things for Complex. Complex was basically saying that he spoke with the artist. What he wanted was he had an idea that he wanted the sunflowers, he wanted the bumblebees, and then to incorporate his car somewhere. So his car is within the picture too, right? But then also the bumblebee has more meaning. There's certain things that it has a meaning to. Now, if a lot of people right now, a lot of the attention circulating around the album is like, did Tyler come out of the closet and all this type of stuff? Is he gay and blah blah? And there's ties to like, is he gay with Frank and all this other stuff, Frank Ocean, right? So there's a bunch of stuff. Now, if you want to believe and or slightly believe in this concept and or conspiracy or whatever, there are some clues, okay, that can lead you in that direction. Now, where I get at that is the bumblebee. Now, if you look in the album credits, okay, so if you look in the album credits, every song that Frank Ocean is on, Okay, it says, all right, published by Wolfgang Steak Sauce, administered by Sony, ATV Songs LLC, BMI, and Heavens Research, BMG, Bumblebee, BMI parentheses, okay? And that was on that's the song Where This Flower Blooms, all right, and that's featuring Frank Ocean. And the other song featuring Frank Ocean is 911, okay, which I'll get into some of that other stuff too. And also it says the same thing with on there, BMG Bumblebee, okay? BMG Bumblebee. So those are the only two songs that have the BMG Bumblebee credit. So, and those are the only two with Frank on it. So, okay, little things tied there. Now, also within the lyrics and a few of the songs and within the album art, and you basically got to see within the album art and within a few lyrics within the song, he's pointing you to different songs. So Tyler actually towards the end of the album. Oh, also, all right. So something funny. If there's a little funny note in here, dealing with the photographer. I guess the reason why there's no album art within the album. I guess it either all got confiscated or something happened with the photographer's agent and they couldn't clear the photos. So if you look in here, it says like photos by, and then they're like blanked out. Their name is blanked out and it's like replaced by whoever, right? So that's one little funny thing in there. But what I was getting at was I was talking about the whole thing with the bumblebees and certain songs. So where there's a few songs where he references different tracks, but within the song. So on the song November, right? So in the song November, he says, all my day ones turn to 3/4 because of track 7. Okay, so I guess he's telling you possibly refer to track 7. So you got to go and look, hey, what is track 7, right? Then in the next song, because there's kind of like interludes and weird stuff in between. Now, what I didn't get, the way he does, okay, I got to go into, one thing at a time, Royal, one thing at a time. So, all right, within the next song, right, he goes, he says, got that thing all up on that hip. I'll use it on myself the day you dip. Got that 45, 7, track 8 for me, baby doll. So he's referring track 7 and track 8 again, I think, as well within that part, right? And then he also drops, a little like pet name, so baby doll. Then there's other few references and little weird things going on within there and all that, right? So basically, if you want to hear, maybe if you want to follow with other weird Tyler conspiracies, right? There's basically he's doing some stuff with numerology and he's playing with numbers. So he's basically leading you to different songs within the album from other songs. So maybe you either possibly have to listen to the album out of order, or there's a separate order that you can actually listen to the album to, just proposing different ideas. So maybe what you can do is listen to such and such, such, then you get to this album. Look, like I said, I haven't fully developed all of this concept all the way yet. I literally just listened to the album, basing this all off of previous stuff and basing it off of everything I'm looking at right now. Now, in my head, there's a lot more going on than what I'm able to say out loud because I got to figure out how to articulate it all. But basically what I'm getting at is basically if you possibly listen to the album maybe out of order from how it's set by how he's listing the songs. So he says one said all my day ones turn 2. But not the number 2, but saying the word 2, but it could still be wordplay. So all my day ones turn 2, 3, 4s because of track 7. So maybe you're supposed to listen to 1, 2, 3, 4, then 7, right? Then he says, I put out 2 verses, but 5, 7 figures since then, but 57. So there's a couple different, like I said, number things going on. So I think he's trying to reference certain tracks within the album or maybe other albums. So possibly even the Wolf album, like I said, because Flower has Wolf in it. So maybe you'll have to either go back to part of the Wolf album. Now, this is also something else I picked up on is track 10 of each of his albums. On track 10, it's more than one song. He compiles at least 2, maybe 3 songs together. So And usually those songs have some type of message, or they're to a specific person, or they're about a specific thing, or whatever, or the songs following that, or you have to pay attention to who's featured in the songs, stuff like that. So um, it's hard to count, like I said, because within the book he only lists lyrics and certain stuff for certain songs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in this case would be Mr. Lonely. So I think if you act, if I gotta actually flick back through a little bit, but 911 and Mr. Lonely, I believe, are a double track. And online, I think it's that way too on YouTube. So I think it's a double track, 911 and Mr. Lonely. And like I said, also that song has Frank on it, has the bee, Bumblebee, all that type of stuff. Also, it's one of the few songs within the album that has album art. Now, also, a few things about the album art as far as the design and the style and the look. I believe it's purposely designed and styled to be kind of like a vinyl album. Like even if you turn it open on the inside, the inserts kind of slide out as if it's an album, like a vinyl album rather than just a regular CD. The colors are very 70s reminiscent. Even some of the image style, or some of the idea, I guess, basis behind some of it's very hippie, like very 70s free love, 60s free love type thing. There's even, rainbows, bumblebees, all that on there. Great mixes of basically all of Tyler's favorite colors. His favorite colors are like yellow, green, orange, things like that. And so he's pictured with the green hat. It's great to see the green grass and everything like that. There's a lot of references throughout the entire album to flowers, gardens, grass, trees, woods, nature, just nature references in general. So that's pretty awesome. For the most part, okay, sound wise, let me go and okay, I'm sorry. I started speaking on this thing and didn't really even speak a single thing about any of the songs. Like I said, I was just so excited just to hear the music, and that I wound up, as I heard it, I just started hearing all these other extra things in there. So it was really cool. But so let's break it down just a little bit sonically, song by song. The first song, called Forward, I believe it was really good opening, very mature opening for Tyler's intro tracks. Usually his intro tracks sonically are very mature. Lyrically, they usually open with some type of a story, a dialogue, especially in his older days, when he was doing like the therapy style sessions within the album. He's branched off from that for sure. This kind of, you get a slight feel of continuance from Cherry Bomb, for the fact that he does continue some of those jazz influenced sounds. You still get some tracks from Roy Ayers on here. But instead of going, I think in this one, maybe I'm not sure if maybe they were leftover or spillover tracks or something, but it seems like instead of going so much with the piano jazz influence, he took a little more of the layers out and then just added kind of crunchy guitars, things like that. Not just in that song particular, but there's a few songs. But within that first song, Forward, he speaks on a lot of issues as far as black, white issues, issues with police. He speaks on what if his fans turn on him. He's questioning a lot of things. He's like, one of the lines I actually really liked is he says, how much cooler can I get until I run out of fans? How many fans can I have until I turn on the AC? If that AC blows, well, then I'm TNT. I'm gone. So I thought that was really cool. So, which is kind of the funny premise of that whole thing. So, and so I thought that was a really awesome line. And then he also just speaks about a few different things in there. Another line that he had that made me think a little bit, but I was like, I could combat that line, right? He says, if you walk to the bottom, you'll probably see a pool. You better not drown. Keep them 10 toes up. Because if those 10 toes down, that means you fucked up, right? But I thought about this. I said 10 toes up. If you're in the when you're in the casket, your toes are pointing straight up, right? So 10 toes up, right? I was like 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? You're living, you're doing your thing. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Just kind of thought that there. That song was pretty nice. The next one is where this flower blooms. Sonically, it's good. It's all right. Only thing I didn't like is you can tell that Frank recorded his verse in a whole separate situation, from an engineer standpoint and things like that. I could really hear the difference in the recording style, like just the recording quality and everything. It sounded like maybe Frank was, I don't know. I could just tell he wasn't maybe in the studio, and you could tell that they didn't do that song together particularly, like in the same room. But the premise is interesting. It's all about basically just kind of blooming and being the best you can be and being yourself and taking full control of yourself and owning up to it. Song 3 is See You Again. Also, I believe, like I said, there's a visual within here that I believe also deals with some of what he's talking about as far as where he's trying to direct you in some of the songs, and maybe in some of the subliminal messaging or things like that people may or may not think that's in the album. I mean, for real, Tyler's Tyler. I don't give a fuck. I've been jamming to his shit since whenever the fuck. Whether he is whatever he is, I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna go see that nigga in concert. Earl, all them niggas, they all the shit to me. I still rock Odd Future socks and skateboards and all that shit, so I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. So the next song is See You Again. It's called this song opens up with You Live in My Dream State, Relocate My Fantasy, I Stay in Reality, You Live in My Dream State. Anytime I count sheep, that's the only way we make up. You exist behind my eyelids, I don't want to wake up. So there's great uses of singing and background vocals from different supporting artists and things like that on the songs, and it's really great. He finds a way to basically string you along on like a nice, smooth, emotional ride. There's even a kind of a little background sub story going on that's supposed to kind of simulate the fact that you're supposed to be in a car, like he's still listening to like Golf Wang radio, Odd Future radio, like he was in the Cherry Bomb album. Because I think in that album it's supposed to simulate like as he still is speaking on his love for cars and having a love for cars and vehicles. So you have to realize you have to visualize a lot of the music from being in a car, looking out at certain things, driving in a car, or being in a confined space with somebody, right? So I think a lot of his musical standpoint and what he's trying to sonically create is supposed to make you feel as if you're riding in a car, sitting in a car, or someone's playing a song for you out of car speakers, right? And that's especially where the song "Who Dat Boy" comes in. If you hear the distortion in the beat and the way that it sounds, it's distorted purposely in a way to sound like when a car is riding by and playing a song with a lot of bass. That's the feeling I get from that. Him and A$AP Rocky tore that song up. Sounds fucking amazing. There's another song on here called Pothole. This song really caught me off guard. I really enjoyed it. What really caught me off guard about it, apparently it's Jaden Smith on here. Jaden Smith makes an appearance on the song. Once again, I got that feeling when I listened to it. It sounds like the recording quality and recording techniques, maybe they didn't do the song together, but they just had the concept, knew what they wanted to do. As far as Jaden Smith's part, it sounded good to me. Like, I didn't know who it was till I read the credits, quite honestly. I thought that was pretty awesome. But also the song sounded like they might have recorded it let's say maybe back in 2014, 2015. It sounded like maybe they recorded it back then and he just still had it and it just happened to fit the premise of this album and it continues on because artists do that a lot. That happens a lot. Or you might just tweak a few words to help it fit the relevancy of today. The next song, Garden Shed, there's a lot of controversies circling this song. Garden Shed's a really good song, very good sonically. It has within the song, there's about 2 or 3 parts to it. It actually is a pretty well branched out, stretched out song. Sometimes I feel also one thing about Tyler is a lot of his songs and premises for his albums and things are based off of different books that he comes across. And so sometimes if you listen to his songs and to his albums, they're set up like books or like chapters in a way of where you get a prologue, epilogue, you get kind of a build up and these things. So he approaches, at least from my view and from what I gather of him from interviews, things like that, listening to him, listening to his music for a long time. From what I gather, it seems like he approaches music from oddly from a movie type visual standpoint, but a book like structure. So that writing style and structure, but still the chaoticness of himself. So as chaotic as he may be on the exterior to us as a populace or whatever, really, if you look at a lot of what he does, it's very well thought out, very well calculated. He has a good team behind what he's doing. So, and even in the song, he said, like I said, there's a bunch of controversy around this song. Now, what he says is, towards the end of the song, the last few bars are, stepping on that ladder, trying to grab the rings of Saturn. I'm a planet. By the time you hear this shit and chatter about the heat, it will not fucking matter. So basically he's saying he's like, yo, I know what people are going to think about certain things about what I'm saying in this album, how there's going to be certain controversy behind it. But guess what? I have had months to plan. I've had time to plan. I've already got it all set out. By the time that y'all even think y'all know what's going on, I'm already going to have it set to where y'all don't know what's going on. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So that was a cool thing too, that that was kind of for the fans, like, yo, for the ones who really fuck with me and really know me, we got this, like, for the rest of y'all. But like I said, there is still a lot of lines, like, but I don't want to go into all that stuff. Now, like I said, I gave you the blueprint so you can figure it out. If you go and get the album, you can search it. You can figure out if those quote unquote theories or whatever are true. And do your research or whatever about the guy. But does it really make a fucking difference? Who fucking cares? Then you got the song Boredom, which he also released online. That song is alright. It's pretty cool. I Ain't Got Time is another one that has controversy around it because of things that he says. But you know what I like? Looking at the song, the way that they wrote it out visually in the album, I like the structure. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it reminds me of, possibly of like DNA or something. It reminds me of like a pillar of some sort or something. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I got to take some more time, stare at this, look at this. There's possibly even some more subliminals within just the structure of the thing. Because the thing with Tyler and the thing with Tyler albums, like I said, you have to really look into a lot of different things. His wordplay, because there's one, I gotta try to remember what it is, but there's a part in here where he does some sick ass wordplay that I'm like, dude, you almost have to be reading this to like get it. Now, also, okay, in the song I Ain't Got Time, he also references the number 7 again. Like I said, he goes on another numerical tangent. It says 1 me, 2 feet, 3 4, 5, 6 years ago. Sucks. 7-figure conversations with Converse finalized. Cause Vans fucked up, right? So he's going through the numbers again, right? So I think, who knows? Like I said, there could be another thing where he's telling you more numbers, because then later on he says, so I went and did a 12-page speed and vogue. See, so this is the thing also. If you notice in the songs, what I'm starting to put together, what I notice in the songs where he has numerical references, there's usually some type of numerical reference in the beginning, and then also another, just one single number. He'll do a string of numbers in the beginning, and then just one single number by itself towards the end of the song. And the reason I say that, hold on, y'all gonna catch me in mid-thought right now. The reason I say that is because there's a couple songs where he does it. Let me see, where was it? Oh, he makes another reference to Oaxaca, California again. Forgot where that song was that I just was talking about. It's over here somewhere. Oh, maybe it was the same one. I don't know. Sometimes I forget that I'm on camera doing this stuff. So anyway, basically, so he has all that. Then you get to, where am I in here? Okay, ain't got time. Then get to 911. Like I said, that's featuring a few people. And by featuring a few people, a couple of them are just doing like speaking vocals, things like that. But that one's a pretty good song. You can also get that online. Another song that caught me off guard was Dropping Seeds. It's literally just Lil Wayne rapping the whole way through. Tyler comes in towards the end. Now, what caught me off, what made me think twice about it was, I wondered, did he record this around the same time that they did the Jelly song, the peanut butter and jelly song type thing for Smuckers? Goodness gracious. I told you, man, I can't think right now. When they did Smuckers for Cherry Bomb, I wonder if they did Dropping Seeds. But, like I said, the way that his verse is, I'm going to have to read Lil Wayne's entire verse because, oh my gosh, I understand why Tyler was like, I don't really need to say shit on this song. First off, like I said, name of the song, Dropping Seeds. The whole album, Scumfuck Flower Boy. Lil Wayne somehow ties this entire fucking album all together with just one verse, with just a few seconds of this album. Yes, I'm going to keep tapping on this table because this is extreme. All right? First off, before I even go any further, you know who this is for. You know why I do this. This is for all the single man. This is for all the single brothers out there that gotta juggle and figure out how to juggle all the shit to get in their door before they, to get to the keys and shit before they go in the door. You know what I'm saying? This is for them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The reason I do this shit, the reason I go over videos and movies and go over all this stuff is for the people. It's for the people who drink Sprite. Because they be like, Coca-Cola burned my throat a little too much. I can't handle Coca-Cola no more. It's a bit much for me. You know what I'm saying? This joint right here, the reason I do this shit right here is for the people who be like, you know what? I'd rather skateboard than drive my car today. I'm going to actually skate somewhere and make something of myself and do something. You know what? I'm feeling good about myself. How about I do that? That's why I do this. Now, let me continue. Now, what I was talking about was Lil Wayne's verse, Dropping Seeds. This shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because, whew. All right, let me just read the lyrics to you right now. He says, like Adam and the Garden of Eve. Okay? Already. Not even the Garden of Eden. It says, like Adam and the Garden of Eve, my bitch got an apple bottom, and she swallow my seeds. Follow my lead. Fire I breathe. Water my seed. And sit back and watch money grow on trees. Dropping seeds like classes. These hoes drop they asses. I drop a seed in her panties if it smells like pansies. I'm a banshee in her panties. Nigga, ask your mother. I never play golf, but got a driver and a caddy. Let me just give a golf clap for that real quick. Whole squad slamming like Onyx. If you don't get that reference, slam, dun 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 dun. Just let the boys be boys, okay? Then he goes even deeper. Whole squad slamming like Onyx. You know Sticky Fingers? Sticky Fingers is a member of Onyx, you dumbass. Oh my God. Whole squad slamming like Onyx. You know Sticky Fingers. Some drop science. I'm dropping English. And it ain't even over. It ain't even over. It ain't even over. He says, even if Tyler named this song Flower. Okay. Now you gotta realize, I'm gonna stop right there. You gotta realize how sick this man Lil Wayne really is. Go and listen to his verse on Tech Nine's song Bass Ackwards, okay? Then you'll realize how sick Lil Wayne's his fucking wordplay really is. Because he says, even if Tyler named this song Flower. Now, like I said, going back to the fact that the name Wolf is in the word flower. Now he even said, even if Tyler named this song Flower, right? But fucking, all right, now think of Wolf in there too. All right, think of Wolf in there, right? No seeds in the bud, still don't trust bugs. Dropping seeds on these niggas. They can't fuck with the boy. I'm dropping seeds on these bitches for the love of the sport. I'm dropping seeds, got these garden flowers popping, of course. I'm dropping seeds, motherfucker. Wheezy Baby the boy. Now, to a degree, the album ends right there. Technically, to a degree, that's an ending to the album. Now, it continues though. You know, like when you're watching a Marvel movie and the credits, the movie ends, but then the credits roll and then there's a little bit more. That's basically what he did right here. So then that's where you get the song November, right? So you got to think of the song November as like the credits rolling in a movie. And so he's reminiscing. Also, he keeps using a familiar, what's a popular term right now when people are doing like Throwback Thursdays and stuff. He keeps saying, take me back to now. He's talking about November. The month November is also the number 11. Once again, he does more numerical references. That was the song I was talking about, that he actually does some of the numerical references. But then what he's talking about in the song November, what he means, November is that thing to you that makes you happy. Or what is your November, right? So like, for some people, like maybe if you ask Tyler, what is his November? He would say, it's my McLaren, it's my car, right? You could ask, Tony Hawk, what is your November? And he says, skating down the vert ramp, going 100, or doing whatever, you know what I'm saying? Steve-O, like, what is your November? Backflipping off of a ladder. So that's the premise of that whole thing. So he's trying to kind of be like, he wants to get back to whatever that thing is. And in the song also, he's doing a lot of